So we gotta talk about how the Black church has affected mental health, how it holds people back, and can you really go to church and have your mental health be in a place that you really want to be? Or is it either or? Do you really have to choose? Now, let's get into it. As a therapist, I see so many people who are trying to figure out, do I pray it away? I want to get help, but the church tells me one thing, but then my family is saying if I go see a therapist that I'm crazy. What is it really? And so many people have leaned on prayer. Some people have leaned on the church community, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at times it feels very isolative. When you're having mental health issues, depression, anxiety, sometimes it might be a little bit more extreme. You might be having some schizophrenia, bipolar episodes. What does the church say? All you gotta do is pray. All you gotta do is get on your knees, get on that prayer call, open up that Bible, and God saves everything. God will fix it. Now, I do believe that the church is a support system. The church is a way for people to get their needs met. But oftentimes, people don't seek both. People don't seek a therapist and mental health. I think in the Black community, we tend to lean on more prayer because that's what we are brought up in. And that feels to me like it can come with a lot of trauma, a lot of just like suffocation of just like, that is the end all be all. But you can have both. You can have prayer and you can have a therapist. You don't have to choose either or. And I think at times the church has made it very difficult for people to seek therapy services because they're looked at like they're crazy, there's something wrong with them. But in reality, you can have both. Sometimes the church discipline, the church fellowship, all that can hold people back. And it comes with a lot of trauma. Sometimes people are coming to me healing from the trauma they have found the church has provided them. Not being good enough, not being godly, not dressing a certain way, not being God-like, okay? The Bible is there to provide support, things like that. But I think it's important to acknowledge that when it comes to mental health, when it comes to anxiety, depression, more extreme things related to mental health, I think you might need a little bit more, okay? You can pray and seek help. And sometimes seeking that help means medication. Sometimes it means some of the things I pick up in therapy and learn about and what I'm dealing with are because of the church. Because of that, just like overarching, God is everything. And I'm not anti-religious. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there are times when people don't seek out help because they have been taught, conditioned to pray it away. And you can't pray away schizophrenia. You can't pray away bipolar depression. Will it help and support? Yes. But what I want people to see is both of these things are support systems. Your therapist is not the end all be all. Church, for some people, they do feel like it's the end all be all. So I can't really say that it's not, because for some people that might be really offensive. But I want you to see that you can have both support systems. You can come and talk to a therapist and work through that depression while also going to church, being on your prayer call, things like that. Do not feel like you can only have one or the other. And still, I think that as we are breaking the stigma, as we are talking about mental health, there still is just like so much to overcome, so much to break through in the Black community. And I think part of that reason that we are still having to break through those things can be partially because of the church. Because if you try and say you're going to therapy, what's wrong with you? You crazy? You think about hurting yourself? What's wrong with you? It's like, no, sometimes I just need a little bit more support. My church family is giving me support. My community, Bible study, prayer calls, all that's giving me support. But I just need a little bit more. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you continue to think you can only have either or, will you really get the help you need? Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that you can pray away mental health, mental illness? Have you had family members tell you Just pray about it. Just give it to God. Just come to church. Just rebuke. It's just the devil trying to get you. And I don't know if I can really say that the devil is bipolar, that the devil is the one really trying to hold me back. Sometimes there's a chemical disconnect in my body that's functioning through depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. Some of that stuff, you need a little bit more, okay? And for some people who have maybe some depression or anxiety, maybe church has helped them. Maybe they have gone and been able to pray and gain that support that they need through the church. But at times, I feel like there are so many people suffering in silence because they've been conditioned once again to believe that the end all be all is the church. And I'm here to tell you, it does not have to be like that. You can see a therapist and go to church. Okay, it does not make you a crazy person. It does not make you a bad person to want and need more and to acknowledge that I need more. And if we continue to have this rhetoric that just pray it away, just give it to God, just get on your prayer call, I think in the Black community, we will have more people suffering in silence. And then you'll get more of those calls, more of those articles about someone deciding or realizing it wasn't enough, and then they go and do something that they can't come back from. And I think a lot of people suffer in silence because they feel alone. Okay. Now I want to tell my church people what I'm experiencing, but will they judge me? I want to tell my friends what I'm going through, but will they judge me? People feel like they are a burden. Okay. And if you have all these systems working to show you or make you feel like you're a burden, then it's going to be even harder for you to get help. And then you'll end up, some people, in a system and a mindset that they just can't overcome. So I want you to know you can get support. It is okay. You can pray it away with the help of a therapist. And sometimes that means find a therapist who has your religious background, your beliefs. That really helps. Whereas other people I've met with feel like their therapist was giving them too much of that churchiness and it was a little bit triggering for them. But what do you guys think? Do you feel like the church holds people back from getting the mental health that they need? Have you been told that you should just pray it away? Has that worked for you? Or did it work at some points through some chapters of your life, but then you realize, oh wait, I need a little bit more? Because you can pray, but you can also have a therapist. They don't have to be either or. The thing is that you get help and you find what you need to overcome that depression, that anxiety, whatever the mental health things you are going through. The goal is to get help. Speak up. And my job is to break the stigma. And I'm going to talk about things that I feel like are holding people back from getting help. And I think sometimes that can be the church. But they're just my thoughts. I need y'all to chime in. Let me know. What do you think? Is praying it away the only answer? Now, I got things to do. I got some clients to see. But let me know your thoughts because your girl can get into it. Bye.